We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on the Miami Dolphins edge rusher Jaelan Phillips. He was super impressive this season, one of the most fun players to watch on the team. Love the athleticism effort that he plays with. And one of the most exciting things about him is the improvement that he has shown from his rookie season to the end of the second season. He's just been on a constant uptick. It's been really exciting to watch his progression, his growth as a player, getting more opportunities. The edge coach even said that once he was doing the little things right, stopping the run, setting the edge, he would get more opportunities to truly rush the passer with everything he's got. And it was just like less maintaining your pass rush lane and really allowing him to use his skill set. Also, the Bradley Chubb trade really opened up many opportunities for him as well, considering they blitzed a ton pre-Bradley Chubb. They still blitzed with Bradley Chubb, but they really allowed Chubb, Phillips to pass rush, true pass rush opportunity, not just blitzing the quarterback. And that's when he was really able to create this constant pressure, get these sacks, and I just think he can even become an elite player next season if he keeps building on this constant growth that he has from his first and second season. It's one of my favorite plays all season long from Phillips. It just does a great job of showcasing a lot of his strengths right here. Just pure athleticism, power, and relentless play style. So right here, he's got 84 to his side. He's sort of, getting a late release going on here. Check and release. He wants to get a little bit of a chip on Phillips, but Phillips sees this huge open lane open up, so he just gets the inside. 84 barely gets any hands on him, and then they bring the split blocking tight end back like it's split zone, but to come in pass protection, and he just absolutely destroys him. This is what happens when he's able to combine his power with his speed, because he's so explosive. Once he recognizes what's happening, he just gets downhill, drops that shoulder into a tight end. The tight end even has lower leverage on him, but he's able to maintain his speed. You can see the power, the balance that he has, the core strength to barely be moved by this at all, maintain his balance, and then run past the quarterback, slow down to change direction, and then get up and then help get half a sack on Cousins right there. This is such an impressive play. Just never gives up, relentless effort, and then just the way he destroys 86 is pretty hilarious. You don't get to see too many of these types of plays where an offensive lineman, a tight end, just gets destroyed up front. So really, really impressive play right here from Jaelan Phillips. These types of hustle plays from Phillips are just littered all over his tape. You can find at least one of these types of plays in every single game where he is just chasing down the quarterback from the opposite side where he lines up on. Right here, they actually like to do this a lot earlier in the season, getting him lined up in a 3-tech, getting him some guard matchups. But here he's sort of just spying Pickett, reading where he's going to go, and since he's lined up on this side of the field, Pickett escapes all the way to the opposite sideline, and just look at his athleticism and effort on this play. The closing speed is so impressive. Look how much faster he's moving than everyone else. This is insane athleticism for a guy of his size. He's one of the fastest guys on the Dolphins team, and that's saying something with the speed that they have, his size. Just since coming out of college, he's been a freak of nature athlete, and once they just unleashed his ability, allowed him to play with a little more freedom, he's just been an absolute beast for the Dolphins. A lot of Phillips pressures earlier in the season up to the midway point were on these stunts, these twists, these stunts. Even when he was the crash guy, sometimes he'll be the loop, and you can just see the explosiveness that he's had on the timing. But even here, right here, he's the one setting this up for Ingram. Tries to, he takes a good angle here, get up towards 60, but then drive towards the right tackle, 69. And even with this high pad level, he kind of gets thrown into him. He's still able to knock this right tackle off balance, but he maintains his balance. His body control is so good for a guy of his size. Good core strength, and then gets upfield, gets tripped even, and still is able to get this pressure, force a throwaway from Brock Purdy. Really impressive play. I love that his use on twists and stunts this season, something I would like to see continue into next season. When he's not getting some true pass rush opportunities, that's an area where he can excel. Jaelan Phillips' biggest impact on the run game is on the backside of these zone runs, whether it be outside zone, inside zone, but just usually when he's lined up on the backside and they allow either a safety, in this case it's 42, Clayton Fejedelem, to come down and be this the defender for the boot, and they give Phillips the freedom to just shoot inside, beat these tight ends, to shoot into the C gap, because a lot of the times they try to have him, they'll have him either lined up over the tight end or with an inside face, and then Phillips is so explosive, he's able to beat the tight end very easily. Look at him, he stays square, keeps his shoulder square to the line of scrimmage while he's still firing down. The explosiveness, good core strength to get through that very easily. He recognizes this as a 2nd-and-1 situation, and they give him the freedom to just blow that play up. Good play call. Even though Boyer gets fired, but it was a good defensive play call, giving Phillips the freedom versus the run on these backside of these runs because it's an area where he feels very, very comfortable. This was the play that got called as that ridiculous roughing the passer call against the Chargers. Definitely wasn't, and it was just such a great rush from Phillips. I got to show it off. They give the right tackle help here to the outside. They show Eckler right here, and Phillips identifies this, that Eckler, the running back, is to his side, and he's sort of taking like an outside release here. So he's taking away the outside lane to the right tackle, so he presses up as far as he can and then times the spin move perfectly. Didn't get to see Phillips use the spin move too many times, but nice to see him make an adjustment on the run. Don't know that what he was planning to do, but once he saw Eckler sort of take the release to the outside of this right tackle, going for the chip, he times this up perfectly with the spin move. He definitely has some moves in his repertoire. A lot of speed to power. That's like his go-to. Loves to use that long arm to inside the counter. He'll definitely throw a spin move every now and then. He has some clubs, some rip moves, and there's some even more moves that he could add to his bag, like cross chops, two-hand swipes. Would love to see him work on his hand placement because I feel like his hand placement is his biggest issue right now as a pass rusher. It can just be a little inconsistent, but if he can get those moves down, like, he'll become an elite player at the next level because he's got the athleticism, the play strength, the effort that you look for, that motor. He's got pretty much everything you look for from a physical standpoint, and he can just improve on those technical things. He's going to be a very, very good player for a very long time. Here we got the Phillips strip sack in the second game versus Buffalo at the end of the season. Not the playoff game, but he did abuse this right tackle in that playoff game. We'll definitely get to that very soon. But just getting around the edge, he clearly has started rushing with a plan more. Sometimes he'll just shoot off the ball, but here he has a plan. He's patient. He waits for that right hand to shoot and then is able to sort of swipe that down with that outside hand to get this outside track on the offensive tackle. And then he's able to bend. Like, he's way far up. Look at Allen, already so far up in the pocket, and he's able to bend this back, flip those hips around while maintaining his speed. Like, that's impressive flexibility and fluidity. And then obviously he has the awareness to finish. He sees that arm from Josh Allen and then just swipes down, gets that strip sack. So an excellent play from Phillips, and this was honestly could have been a game changer if the offense could have finished for a touchdown. Here he is on a backside of a zone run again. They get him in a 2-point stance. They get him lined up, head up over the tight end again in like a 6 technique, and he's just able to explode up the field. It's so impressive how quickly he's able to move. And they get backside of this run. They get the outside zone, or more of a mid zone, but definitely some outside zone tendencies right there as well. But he just shoots up, gets his face across. Like, look how much quicker he's moved here off the ball. His first step is so quick, even versus the run, than everyone else. And then he dips that shoulder, faces across, and he's just in this position. He rips that left hand and now blows this up for a tackle for loss. Rose there to help him out, but really impressive play versus the run from Phillips. Just want to see him maybe improve setting the edge. He definitely got better at this season doing that, but it's an area where he can even take another step. Just, being a little more technically sound, staying square, using your hands, extend to stack and shed. It's just an area things he can work on technically. That's why you can't block Jaelan Phillips with a tight end to his side. They get him in a wide 9, which gets him isolated on this tight end because the right tackle slides to help to the inside. But they get this isolated right here. He gets all this room. He wants to go into the outside because that's what Phillips loves to do. But he sees how wide this tight end gets. Use that right hand to just turn. Use this power move. Open up the hips and then get instantly to the inside. It should have probably been a sack, but Flacco does a good job just getting this out late to the running back. But this is an instant pressure, a QB hit. And, these types of plays end up leading into, turnovers, things like that. A lot of times it's incompletions. You take the process over the result. Obviously, he gets a little dump off, and they end up picking him first down because they don't tackle. But you just want this process because this is what indicates to future success, future sacks, the more pressures that the edge defender gets, and Phillips was getting a lot of pressures this season. Just on these third downs in this game versus the Jets and in the Buffalo playoff game, Jaelan Phillips was really able to just shoot off this edge, use those speed to power on these right tackles, and he didn't have to worry about it being a run, and it just forced him to dump it off to these running backs very quickly. Look at him, the first step is so explosive, and you can just see he keeps his feet beneath him too. Good base, Good footwork. Nice bend, body lean, leverage to win this, leverage battle. Stays low, but he maintains that speed to power, and he's just driving this right tackle back with one hand, and then looking at Flacco, maintains his rush lane too, and just then gets the hit on the arm, which forces the incomplete pass. High level stuff from Phillips. He was doing this at the end of the season in every game, multiple times a game, just making these game-changing plays. It was very, very, very fun to watch from him. This was a Jaelan Phillips dominated drive in the playoff game. Like, all 3 plays, he just absolutely blew this up. This running play right here to James Cook was actually a touchdown that was not run to his side earlier. So he is the one who makes a play against this one. They're running, QB, counter read. He's reading Phillips. Once he sees Phillips, he thinks Phillips is coming down towards him, and he's going to hand it off to Cook because they're blocking towards Josh Allen, but they're going to get this wide angle to Cook, and he just has to outrun this linebacker. But Phillips sort of baits this, does a really good job recognizing what's happening, gets on this, and then finishes for a tackle. He does a really good job. He's got those long arms, lengthy arms to secure these tackles on these running backs. He's a very consistent tackler in that area. Last play, then we'll break down. Jaelan Phillips at the top versus the right tackle, and he was just abusing this poor guy like the whole game, like speed to power. They started giving help. They bring Dawson Knox to this side to give the right tackle help because Phillips was abusing him so badly. The right tackle knows that he's going to have this chip on the outside from the tight end, so he can maintain this inside-out relationship with Jaelan Phillips because Phillips has been winning to the outside the whole time, using that speed. This time, he sees Knox and just instantly engages right here with his hands. Stays low. Look at him just lift this tackle up. He stays low, and this is a very difficult thing to do. When you get low like this, and to maintain your explosiveness, maintain that power, and then you just turn him to the inside. Nice inside little power move. He gets tackled to the ground too, and then, forces a little bit of a dump off. It only ends up being like a couple yard completion on his 2nd and 15 because he just made a big play on first down. He also gets the pressure on the next play, which forces Allen to just chuck it up. But he was a dominant force in this game. He's a game wrecker. Definitely something the Dolphins have needed at the edge. And I think him and Bradley Chubb can be a special combination in a different defense where they get more true pass rush snaps, not just a lot of cover 0, cover 1, but a better defense that allows the secondary to be in a more advantageous position because the secondary gets kind of screwed in this defense, and it's on the edge defenders to get instant pressure to help them out. But right here, if the secondary can be put in a better position to cover, it will give the edge defenders just a little bit more time to get to the quarterback, get these sacks, and it's going to be a special thing to watch. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.